Welcome to the 2020 memorial celebration for the 9/11. A little bit unusual this year. We're kind of doing things a little off the cuff. Won't be as formal as in the past, but the important thing is that we all remember why we're here. Um, the ceremony itself just is a remembrance of how we have to always be vigilant and never forget those who made a sacrifice, all those innocent victims who made a sacrifice. So we'll begin the ceremony today with a presentation of the colors by the Tewksbury Fire Department and the Tewksbury Police Department and VFW Honor Guards.
Detail, up 10, put! What's your colors?
And now I'd like to welcome members of the Girl Scouts, Cub Scouts, and Boy Scouts of Tewksbury to come forward and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Fine job done by our youth. I'm glad to see that those organizations are still thriving and well. Normally, at this time, we would have a speaker, and traditionally, over the years, it has been Larissa Gay, who is the daughter of Peter Gay, one of our Tewksbury residents who perished that day, along with Peter Hashem.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining us. Once again, a little bit different this year. Clearly, I'm not all standing up in front of you. However, I hope wherever you are that you're safe and healthy. It's been a strange year for a lot of people, both physically and mentally. And I'm just grateful for the fact that I can still be able, some way, somehow, talk to you all today. Not only has this year been trying mentally and physically, but some have even asked if it's brought me back to the tragic feelings of 9/11, the isolation, the not knowing of what tomorrow will bring. It definitely brings back some scary feelings, just of the unknown, of the craziness of the world around you. But I feel like this is the time that it's really important to reach out to your loved ones around you, and especially on a day like today, really use today to remind yourself why we actually pause and why we gather to commemorate such an important day in our history. It brings back to the solidarity of what one person and one community and what one world can be, and hope that we can get back to that with everything going on right now. It's been 19 years this year, and how crazy is the fact that this is the first year that we haven't been together. This is the first year that I haven't been to a memorial service. This is the first year that I haven't seen your faces since the memorial was built, since 9/11/01. The first year that we're not together. Definitely sad, definitely a bit unnerving, that this is our new normal now. Everything's virtual. And there's just something to be said about being there, being at the memorial, speaking to all of you, even though it's the same thing every year. I try and switch it up with my speeches, but seeing you all and seeing everyone there really is kind of my highlight of that day. So I'm really hoping that this speech, this whole memorial video that we're putting together finds you well, and that we can imagine we're in that setting where nothing else matters. We're all just together to commemorate this day in history and to remember those that we lost that day. As I say every year, I take this time to really sit down and reflect and think about like what I can do today that will matter, that what I can do for my dad, what I can do for anyone else that was lost that day. And today is really just what I can do to help me, what anyone else can do to help themselves in such a crazy time right now. We can't be around each other. We can't be in a communal setting. So really being able to dig deep down and find that inner light is something that I've kind of made it a goal this whole quarantine. And I know that my dad would want me to find that light, to find whatever I can to get us through today and tomorrow and any other day going forward in these unprecedented times that we have right now. As always, I like to say a little poem or something that I thought would really resonate, but I actually found this poem and I kind of wish that I found it when I was little. It kind of reminds you of what a lasting impression someone can be like on you. And even though it's been 19 years, there hasn't a day that's gone by that I don't think of my dad. So the poem goes as follows. I thought of you today, but that is nothing new. I thought about you yesterday and days before that too. I think of you in silence. I often speak your name. All I have are memories in your picture in a frame. Your memory is a keepsake from which I'll never part. God has you in his arms. I have you in my heart. And then the poem goes on to say, sincerely, your little girl forever, which I was his little girl. I was his little sweet potato, as my mom remembers him calling me all the time. It's true. Not a day goes by that I don't think of my dad. Not a day goes by that I don't think of what he's missing out on. Especially right now. I like wonder how he would be freaking out during this whole time. But no, not a day goes by that I don't think about him. Not a day goes by that I don't think about all that we've lost, especially nowadays. But not being able to be with you all today, it's definitely a bit different, but it doesn't change the fact that this is why we're here, and this is why we commemorate this day, is to remember those that we've lost, to remember that we have made it through such trying times and we can continue to make it through, and to never forget. So I thank you all for tuning in a little bit differently this year. I hope this finds you well. I hope you take some time throughout your day today to reflect on either yourself, to reach out to loved ones, to make sure that they're okay, someone that you haven't talked to in a while. You just never know what tomorrow can bring, as we know so many times before, but especially now. Really reach out to those you love and keep that peace, keep that love inside your heart and spread it out. And yeah, Larissa Gay here signing off. Again, thank you all for tuning in, for joining us. Let us never forget 9/11. Let us never forget those that we've lost. And let's never forget the purpose of this day of service, this day to spread love. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day and continue staying strong.
So and now we would like to call upon our first responders from the Tewksbury Police and Fire Department to remember the 93 Massachusetts residents who gave their lives that fateful day. Gentlemen?
Ian Williams Allison, Stoneham. Barbara Agrestui, Marston Hills. Myra Aronson, Charlestown. Garnett Ace Bailey, Linfield. Christine Barbudo, Brookline. David W. Bernard, Chelmsford. Mark Bavis, West Newton. Graham Andrew Berkeley, Boston. Kelly Ann Booms, Brookline. John Brett Cahill, Wellesley. Christopher Karjantian, Turner Falls. Nellie Ann Heffernan Casey, Wellesley. Jeffrey W. Coombs, Abington. John J. Cochran of Norwell, and Tara Creamer of Worcester.
Patrick Currivan, Winchester. Captain Gerald Francis DeConto, Sandwich. David DeMeglio, Wakefield. Donald Americo DeTulio, Peabody. Paige Farley Hackle, Newton. Alexander M. Filipov, Concord. Paul Friedman, Belmont. Carlton D.B. Fife, Brookline. Peter Gay, Tewksbury. Linda George, Westboro. Lynn Catherine Goodchild, Attleboro. Peter Morgan Goodrich, Sudbury. Lisa Fenn Gordonstein, Needham. Douglas A. Cogwell, Methuen. The Reverend Francis E. Grogan, Easton.
Mally Rachel Hale, Cambridge. Christine Lee Hansen, Groton. Peter Hansen, Groton. Sue Kim Hansen, Groton. Eric Hartano, Boston. Peter Paul Hashem, Tewksbury. James Hayden, Westford. Robert Hayes, Amesbury. Edward Ted Hennessy, Belmont. Todd Russell Hill, Boston. Cora Hildago Holland, Sudbury. Hebert Homer, Milford. Nicholas Homer, Newton. Robert Adrian Jalbert, Swampscott. John Charles Jenkins, Cambridge.
Charles Edward Jones, Bedford. Robin Kaplan, Westboro. Ralph Francis Kershaw, Manchester by the Sea. Brian Kinney, Lowell. Judy Frank LaRoche, Framingham. Natalie Janice Lasden, Peabody. Daniel C. Lewin, Charlestown. Marianne McFarland, Revere. Susan McKay, Westford. Karen A. Martin, Danvers. Joseph Matai, Arlington. Deborah Medwig, Dedham. Christopher D. Mello, Boston. Craig James Miller, East Bridgewater. Carlos Alberto Montoya, Belmont.
Laura Lee Morbito, Framingham. Christopher M. Morrison, Charlestown. Michael Gregory McGinty, Foxborough. Mildred Rose Nairman, Andover. Kathleen Nicosia, Winthrop. John Oganowski, Dracut. Betty Ann Ong, Andover. Jane M. Orth, Haverhill. Nitlin Ramesh Prandekar, Waltham. Sonia Morales Pupolo, Dover. Patrick Quigley, Wellesley. David E. Rytek, Needham. Frederick Charles Ramel, Marblehead. Raymond James Roca of Malden, and Jean Roger of Longmeadow.
Philip M. Rosenweg, Acton. Richard Ross, Newton. Jessica Lee Sachs, Barica. Rama Salih, Boston. Jesus Sanchez, Hudson. Jane Louise Simpkin, Wayland. Heather Lee Smith, Boston. Diane Snyder, Westport. Brian D. Sweeney, Barnstable. Madeline Amy Sweeney, Acton. Michael Theodosius, Boston. Amy Toyin, Newton. James Trentini, Everett. Mary Trentini, Everett. Antonio Jesus Montoya Valdez, East Boston. Kenneth Waldy. William M. Weems, Marblehead. Christopher Zabra, Hopkinton.
Thank you to our first responders, and in this year of COVID, it's especially important that we remember the job that they do, because they can't stay home. They have to go to work to keep us all safe. So at this time, I'd like to have Colonel Sam Polton lead us with taps.
Detail, hot 10, hut. Present, halt. Order, halt.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares have we already come. 'Twas grace that led us safe thus far, and grace will lead us home. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. Thank you.
On behalf of the Board of Directors, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who joined us today for this impromptu ceremony. But as I said before, it's very important. Not to mention our director, leader, Mr. Bob Fowler, Mr. James Carter, who's always doing a lot of work, Mr. Mark Kratman, who has joined us on the board and is always very helpful. So we would like everyone to remember that this is a 9/11 Memorial Committee is a nonprofit organization. If you'd like to make a contribution to help us maintain the grounds, we don't take any public money. It's all private. You can make a donation to Tewksbury 9/11 Memorial Committee, P.O. Box 55, Tewksbury, Massachusetts. So I would like to conclude this ceremony by saying the memorial was made out of granite so that it would stand the test of time and it have its longevity. We hope that everyone in the town feels the spirit of this memorial and that they will always be here to take care of it and never forget the purpose for which it was erected. Thank you very much and have a great day.